Hello everybody, my name is Bragster and welcome back to another episode of F1 Manager, where today we have the British Grand Prix and the Austrian Grand Prix. We've already been to Silverstone, even though you haven't seen it yet, you're about to, but we've already been to Silverstone, and do you know what? It went pretty well for us. Connor, take it away. Right, so before we go into Silverstone, I decided to issue a coup in behind the scenes at McLaren, and I managed to get in one of the Ferrari's technical chiefs in Cardile, I think is how you say his name. I managed to get him in. It was a lot of money, but I managed to get him in. And we also decided to throw everything into a new front wing. Everything in this dynamic testing period, we decided to throw into the front wing. To be honest with you, it was just to see how that would work out in comparison to evening it out between two different parts. And obviously, I went for the qualifying position and to get into Q3. I believe in this car now, so I knew we could do it. And it all started in Q1, where we seemed reasonably safe, to be honest. Norris had been held up in his first run through, but in the end he managed to improve on his second run through, get out of the danger zone, get out of the way, and we were absolutely safe. All honky-dory in Q1, whereas in Q2 we knew it'd be a lot tighter, and especially for Ricciardo, who never really makes it through Q2. Norris was on the cusp. Ricciardo didn't manage to close that gap, but we knew Mick wasn't going to do it, so we knew we had someone in Q3, and that man was Lando Norris. Unfortunately for Norris, though, our car just doesn't compete with the other constructors, and we've had to settle for 10th for the last few times we've made it to Q3. We had to settle for that again, but it does put Norris in prime position. And there were penalties. There were grid penalties for Alonso, Gasly and Bottas, which now meant that not only did Lando Norris qualify in a good position, but technically so did Ricciardo, because it meant that Ricciardo could get a top 10 place on the grid, as well as Norris, who was sitting in 8th. The two strategies we went for with Ricciardo, we're going for a two-stop strategies of mediums, hards, mediums. And for Norris, we went for the one-stop strategy with mediums to hards. We knew that either one of the strategies was going to work, or we were hoping for both. And it was going to be up in the air as to which would work, but Ricciardo started to make it work early on by overtaking Alonso, and then Norris made it work even further by overtaking Russell. We were in prime position, and Norris, being on the mad one that he is, decided to get to the front of the train. He decided to be the man to lead this train with the Alpines, the Mercedes and the McLarens. Lando Norris wanted to be at the front of all of that and take that mantle. While everyone else was pitting, there was this real dogfight really between Norris and Russell. Norris again managing to get the better of that one, being in that second or third spot. When Ricciardo came out the pits for the first time, though, he ended up being in a good position, ended up coming out around 12th, which is very nice to see. And we managed to pit Norris at the same time as Russell, and they managed to come out in, to be honest, a reasonably good position. Them two were in a dogfight for ages, but they managed to come out in a really good position around Ricciardo, around Hamilton, and once again, the McLarens and the Mercedes were in this lovely relationship with one another, just fighting with one another over and over again, it seems, over the course of the season. After Ricciardo's second pit stop, though, he managed to come out in 7th. He was in prime position yet again, and we managed to hold that all the way to the end. Ricciardo and Norris notching up a 7th and 8th finish. We nearly managed to catch Ocon, who finished in 6th, but it wasn't meant to be. But 7th and 8th is a very good finish indeed. Ricciardo going up by 3 places. He had an incredible race. And Norris, with the one-stop strategy, not really gaining any places, but still finishing in a good position. So clearly the two-stop strategy was better than the one-stop strategy. For the Drivers' Championships, Ricciardo was in 10th, managed to rise above Gasly with those extra points, but Norris managed to hold his position in 8th, which is very nice to see, and having both got them in the top 10 is very nice indeed. And we managed to pull away in that 4th spot and really make that our spot to keep. But the cooing backstage and behind the scenes, it wasn't enough for me, so I managed to get the head of aerodynamics from Red Bull, replacing our own head of aerodynamics. It was going to cost us a hell of a lot, I'm not going to lie, it cost us a lot of money, but I felt it was worth it to really improve everything, and Balbo is in the team. Well, that's right, now we are here at the Austrian Grand Prix after a brilliant British Grand Prix, which has put us in prime position in the Constructors' Championships, because we are miles ahead of Alfa Romeo at this point, and quite a distance away from Alpine as well, who are our main rivals this season. For our Drivers' Championships, they're both in the top 10, which is really, really nice to see. And we're here at the Austrian Grand Prix. It's going to be a very, very tough Grand Prix, that is for sure. So for this one, I feel like at this point we may as well put the qualifying targets all the way up, because I'm pretty sure we're going to be absolutely fine in qualifying. I believe in that, that is for sure, but especially after our technical coup of everybody. Right, so we're here at qualifying, and we were told in the weather forecast that there was going to be rain, but I don't see any rain. There's going to be rain, but to what degree over the course of qualifying it has to play, I do not know. It's going to be a very interesting qualifying session for sure, just simply for the fact that rain is on the way and none of us know when. I don't know why no one else is out, because if the rain comes, everyone's times are going to be so slow. Like, they're going to be so slow. So, naturally, you've got to come out in this while it's still dry. And we've put out some really, really good times. Oh, I believe. Everybody, rain has arrived. I haven't got a clue what to do here. So, I'm just going to see how big it gets, because it's already getting to about 1 millimetre. And there are people on the track. We are going to see people's times. People's times are going to be awful. And like, so many people are possibly still going out on the softs. Look at the shocks that could happen if this interlap does not work. This is going to be absolutely crazy. Although, I've just realised, what is the point in me going out again? There is 0 point in me going out again, because there is no way they are beating that time, because the Inters can't beat the softs on softs, so on soft ground. I'm guaranteed to stay in, so I'm going to be smart and I'm not going to send them out. Hamilton and Russell could be out in qualifying 1. Oh my god, they are. The Mercedes and a Ferrari are out in Q1. What in the world's just happened? An Alfa Romeo, which we are fighting with, the Alfa Tauris, which we usually fight with, the Mercedes that we usually fight with, and the Ferrari are out, which means they're going to be behind the Aston Martins and the Williamses. That's incredible stuff, because that's possibly going to hold them up quite a bit, and we've got a chance here of possibly being the best. Like, being in a great position, being right near the top. This is incredible for us. There's no rain, and we're not expecting rain until later on. So, we are on fresh softs, because we didn't use any, and we're going to send them out again.
Looks like
we're going to send them out early. It worked last time. It should work this time. We're going to send them out early, and fingers crossed, they put out a really good time, which then, if rain comes way earlier than we're expecting, we should be fine. We put out 105 in the first qualifying session. We put out 105 again. Norris, you absolute beauty of a man. We're going to see where Danny Rick's going to end up. He's ended up right next to Norris, so we're in a great position again. Right, rain is here, and not everyone has completed their laps. Verstappen, Alonso, Verstappen's only just leaving now. Alonso, Bottas, Ocon, Magnussen, Stroll, Vettel, Latifi. All names that have not completed their lap just yet. Rain is already coming. We were expecting it much, much later. Although we are expecting a little drizzle now. So I don't know what's going to happen. But it's getting to a point now where inters are needed. We're in a great position here. Because we might not have to go out again. Oh my God. Verstappen's time is ridiculously low because he was on the wrong tyres. Verstappen could be out in Q2. So much rain is coming. Our weather forecast was wrong, but luckily we planned just in case it was wrong. It's miles wrong. They're now going on to the wets, and I'm not going to lie, people. We're not going to send them out again because you're going to be slower on the wets. This is the riskiest qualifying session I have ever done. I have gone out once in both qualifying sessions. This is either going to go really well for me or horribly wrong because I might have a fresh pair of softs for the race. Oh my God, Verstappen's out. Verstappen is out. Mick Schumacher has a penalty from practice still, and he's in the top 10 at this point, right? And currently, Verstappen, Hamilton, Leclerc, and Russell are all out. All of them are out. We've got Latifi qualifying in 12th, Stroll qualifying in 13th. But what's even more incredible is Albon and Vettel are in the top 10. They are in the top 10 of qualifying. They're in Q3. This is Sainz and Perez's, like, for days. But if we can qualify in the top 5 here, our strategies and pull off our strategies, we're in a great place because so many people have a lot of places to make up. Let's check the track. We're expecting no rain in this qualifying session. For the rest of the qualifying session, we're expecting no rain. If we manage to pull this off, this is incredible because the Williams and the Aston Martin will definitely finish below us. We're definitely going to finish above Mick because of the grid penalty anyway. So we're looking here at a guaranteed like 7th at this point, and that's not including if we actually beat anyone else. He's been putting in 105s every single time up to this point. Does he put in a 105 again? He puts in a better 105 than he has done all day. Lando Norris, you absolute legend, and Danny Rick right next to him as well. Oh my days, we are in for an absolute treat as that time looks good enough to finish just behind Perez and Sainz. Fingers crossed that is the case. Okay, so this is the situation. Currently, we are in 6th and 7th. I thought it would be good enough, but maybe not. But remember, they were used soft, so we should improve on this run around. So we're going to see where Ricciardo's going to end up. He rises only above Norris, so it's all on Norris. Can Norris go above the likes of Alonso, Ocon, Gasly? Can he do so? He's been green the entire time. He only manages to finish above his teammate, unfortunately. Hopefully Mick doesn't improve. Mick doesn't really improve that much. So we are qualifying in 6th and 7th. And we've got a fresh pair of softs for the race. That has been one hell of a qualifying session for us. Right, so we're starting on the grid at 6th and 7th. And these are the two strategies. We're going hards to softs and hards to mediums. To be completely honest with you, I haven't really got a clue. Because I did want to maybe do a 2-stop strategy. But 2-stop strategies on this track are just not good. They are not good whatsoever. So we're going to go in with this, and it kind of depends on the situation because they both do have a fresh pair of softs in their backlog. And to be honest, the both race strategies are very similar timing wise. So we're going to put them on separate strategies, but if the duty calls, maybe a safety car or something like that, we might put them on the same strategy, but God knows, absolutely God knows. But these are the two strategies we're going for. Is it going to pay off?
And it's lights out, and away we go.
Right, here we go. We're here with Danny Rick. That is the weirdest grid I've ever seen. Seeing the Mercedes the Ferrari and the Red Bull at the back fighting it away is quite entertaining to see. The only problem we're going to have is the fact that the Alpines are above us. So the fact we're still going to have to contend with the Alpines. If one of the Alpines backed out, it would have been the perfect qualifying session. But unfortunately for us, both Alpines are still here. So unfortunately for us, that we still have to contend with them in the Constructors. But, you know, we're just going to race our race, because at this rate, we might be able to do something as Norris overtakes Gasly really early on. That is huge for us, because you never know, the Williamses and the Aston Martins that are like in this little bit here might be able to hold up some of these guys. So if that does end up happening, we should be in the clear for this race. But anything can happen. Literally anything can happen. And with Albon and Vettel there, and Latifi and Stroll, if they end up locking up or whatever, as Ricciardo's just overtaking Gasly, if they end up locking up, they might be able to cost someone else the race. So we're in a very, very interesting position here. If we look at everyone else's tyres, though, we've got a few on mediums around us. But we are on the hards early on to then go on to the mediums right at the end. So we don't mind losing a little bit of time. Wait a minute. Norris has just overtaken Ocon. So Norris now is on an absolute mad one. We missed it. So let's have a look. Norris, I absolutely am loving Norris on this game, by the way. He just doesn't care. He just overtakes anybody and everybody. And he overtakes Ocon there with some ease, putting him in the battle with Alonso for a possible podium. I never thought I'd say that, but there's a possible podium on the cards here. Verstappen's on an absolute mission. He's already up to 10th. I know he started off in 15th, so he did start in front of the Mercedes, in fairness, but the Mercedes aren't really doing that much damage, whereas the Ferraris and the Red Bulls are trying to do a lot of damage. But we're at the top here. They might end up finishing in the top 4 anyway, but they've had to make up a lot of places early on. And if we look at their tyres, Verstappen's done it on the hards, whereas Leclerc is doing it on the mediums. So you would expect Leclerc to actually slow down later on, but I mean, they're in much better cars than us anyway, so we're going to forget about them. Well, just to add more misery to Mercedes' time, Russell has locked up, which means I don't think we have to worry about the Mercedes in this race. They haven't managed to make up any ground whatsoever. To no one's surprise at all, Verstappen has ended up taking us really early on as well. The only benefit is we are now getting DRS off of him, so there's a chance, there's maybe a chance that, you know, this might work in our favour. Having the likes of Verstappen right next to us could really help, especially with the Leclerc there as well. The only worry though is if you look at the big mini-map, look at the train that is now developing. It's all the way back to P11, which, as we all know, isn't points. So I'm a bit concerned in that respect. Gasly and Mick are starting to be left behind by this little train because of Verstappen and because of Leclerc. I didn't expect it to happen this way. To be honest, I was expecting them to catch up much later in this race, but I didn't expect them to actually help us. I've never seen the DRS train when these faster cars are overtaking you actually end up working in your favour the way it has done here. But it's really starting to work in our favour, and if we can stay in this for a few more laps now, we could pull away just enough where we can guarantee ourselves points, which would be huge for us. Again, because all we need, remember, is just to keep getting points, and eventually we'll just generate and get 5th in the Constructors, and we'll be happy. The big boys have gone because the Alpines managed to hold them back for a while and help us along. But now we have to stand on our own 2 feet. And the moment you have to stand on your own 2 feet is the moment you just have to skip forwards, because we're going to be in this train for a while, I can imagine. Okay, Danny Rick has lost DRS range. We're going to try and push with Danny Rick, but Danny Rick has been left behind. He lost DRS range, and it's gone. It is gone for Danny Rick. So, at this point, Danny Rick is... No. I recognise that car immediately. No. No. How do you spin there? How do you spin there? Come on, man.
Sounds like a few cars have crashed.
There's a crash. Who's the crash involving?
Now watch this.
We were spinning and the crash is happening. What's going on here? We've got the Williamses. The Mercedes is gone. The Mercedes is gone. Up yours, Mercedes. Hamilton's gone. I told you that one of the Williamses or one of the Aston Martins was going to screw over somebody, and they screwed over Hamilton and went into the back of him. That is hilarious. That makes up for the fact that all of my drivers have now lost DRS range because of everything. Magnussen has locked up, unfortunately for him, he locked up there in the Haas, letting us by. So that's one less person we've got to compete with for a little bit, which is brilliant for us. We now haven't got to worry about not getting any points, at least for a little bit, unless we end up spinning again. But we are catching up with Hamilton, the back marker in Hamilton. So if we manage to catch him up, we'll be able to get DRS and maybe catch up with Ocon. That's the hope, but whether it happens or not, none of us knows. Oh, for goodness sakes, you stupid bint. Oh my God, you idiot. You absolute idiot. Why Ricciardo's now Ricciardo locked up. If you couldn't see with your own eyes, Ricciardo's now locked up. They're really trying to throw this away. We qualified really well, right? And do you not see our drivers trying to throw this away? Every time I feel like we're safe, Norris then span, and then when I think Ricciardo's safe, he then locks up. They're trying to give me a heart attack, I swear to God. Oh my God, I swear to God. I swear to God. What's happened now? Norris, he runs wide and then he crashes into the AlphaTauri. I'm going to lose my mind. They are literally throwing this away. They are literally throwing this away. We were fine. We were fine. We weren't even pushing. Minor front wing damage. Can we even change the front wing? Okay, that's the one thing that we can do. Do we pit him now? I don't actually know whether to pit him now or not. I really don't. Because we've got minor damage. We've got a virtual safety car, which is great. We could kind of make it work, especially with Norris, we could. It could be worth it with Norris to pit him now. Do you know what? We are going to pit Norris early for the mediums. I know this probably sounds really stupid, but with the virtual safety car, we're not going to lose as many places. Although I forgot to fucking change. Oh, that's so annoying. Please just automatically change the front wing. Because otherwise I've just pitted him for no reason. No, I've fucked up. I've massively fucked up. Shit. Shit on it. Massively effed up. I've massively effed up. Because the problem's still there. The minor damage is still there. Well, I've absolutely messed up Norris's race. I really do apologise, Norris. Well, we're going to have to focus on Ricciardo because he's the only hope that we have now.
Understood.
Oh, I'm so peed off. He's the only hope that we have now of doing anything. I'm pitting Norris and it would work as well. What we were doing would work because he came out in 11th, so he would have been in a great position if he didn't have damage to his car. But unfortunately, he does have damage to his car, and that's going to cost us big time. Unless we get another safety car, which kind of, at this point, I'm hoping to get another safety car around Ricciardo. Around when Ricciardo's meant to go in, because we've got fresh softs with Norris as well, so we could get away with it a little bit. But it's annoying, isn't it? It's really, really annoying. Who's just span? Oh, I swear to God, Danny Rick, what are my drivers doing? What are they doing? I don't understand. They now had 2 incidents each in this race on their own, on their Todd. They've had more individually than I think the entire of the Williams lot. Like, what am I meant to do? Both of my drivers just don't want to do well. Neither of them want to do well. Because if Norris and Ricciardo hadn't have done what they would have done, we would have been around here, around 5th or 6th. Instead, we're fighting for our lives to get points. I swear to God, what the world has happened. Lando Norris, what's going on, mate? So he goes around the corner and he gets crashed into. I honestly, Mick, you can suck my dick. Mick Schumacher is the worst person on planet fucking Earth. I am so peed off. He's got no tyres, everything's bad, everything's gone wrong. I am few. What damage is to his car? His chassis, minor damage. Front ring, minor damage. Rear ring, minor damage. Major damage to his suspension. He's not going to be able to race, is he? Lando Norris is out of this race. I'm sorry, mate. I'm so sorry, Norris, but you're going to have to retire. He's actually going to have to retire because there is no way, there's no point. That's it. Retired Norris. Bye-bye, Norris. Right, Ricciardo, when I mentioned earlier you're our only hope, you literally are our only hope. If we have a quick pit stop, we could stand a chance here, but it's got to be a quick one. He's in 2.4 again. Our pit crew on an absolute mad one at the moment. We seem to be coming out in 12th, maybe? Yeah, we seem to be coming out in 12th. So that's not too bad, actually. That's not too bad at all. And we should be okay. So we're on the softs now. So we should, in reality, be quicker than everyone else because no one else is on softs. We're the only ones on softs this early on. So hopefully we can catch people up. But at this rate, it wouldn't surprise me if someone decides to crash into Danny Rick and retire him as well. So this has gone from one of our best races to easily one of our worst. And I've done absolutely nothing. Right, so we are in the top 10. Russell had to pit and so did Stroll, but Russell is now on softs, but we were on softs for a little bit longer and he's miles behind us. So hopefully we should be ahead of Russell by the end of this race. Looking at everyone else, I don't know who's going to have to pit. We've got a couple of softs up here who've already pitted. I don't know who is going to pit or who has to pit at this rate. It's purely on, can Danny Rick gain places and hopefully not lock up, spin, crash, any of the above would be very nice for the end of this race. We are down to the last few laps and we are still behind Gasly and Magnussen. For whatever reason, our plan did not necessarily work with us going onto the softs and managing to catch them up. It just hasn't really worked. Gasly locked up. For once it wasn't us. I was as surprised as you. He ended up locking up and then we ended up going past him. It was wonderful. Look at us go. Oh, that was nice. Oh, we get more points at least than one. We would have got one measly point after all the hard work in qualifying and at the start of this race. We were going to get one measly point. At least now we might get two. I know it's not a win, but I'm going to take my small wins at this point because, to be honest with you, there's not many wins left. Gasly has finished in 10th, so we're not going to lose that.
Maximum pace now, maximum pace.
We're going to try our best, try our hardest to catch up Magnussen in one lap. I don't think it's going to work, but we're sure as hell going to try. I mean, the time it is ticking away on it. We're lowering it down to 2 seconds, but I think it's just far, far too late. And we have emptied the battery, unfortunately for us. Yeah, it was far, far, far too late. There was just no way we were going to catch him up. That was such a difficult race. As you can see, down 2 there from Ricciardo and down 14 for Lando Norris, who had to retire after Mick Schumacher, of all people, the man who got a penalty from practice, a man who got a penalty in this race, and he managed to finish the race, but unfortunately we had to retire Lando Norris due to all of the damage that was caused to the car. In the Drivers' Championships, Lando Norris hasn't lost his place, but he is now joint with Fernando Alonso. Look at the Alpines finishing in 5th and 6th. That's a huge race for them. I thought that was going to possibly be us, but unfortunately not. And Danny Rick does manage to get some, but again, Ocon managing to get a bunch of points. For the constructors, we lose our place due to multiple lockups and spins, and then the crash, which really did bugger us. The crash was like the ender. We are now behind Alpine for possibly the first time in this series, because they got 18 points and we got a measly 2 points. That was a very bad race for us indeed. And again, not purely our fault. Right, so our helipad is in poor condition apparently. So we might need to upgrade that, which I'm more, or refurbish it actually. We can refurbish it. Yeah, if it's due, we can refurbish for a measly 80 grand. I'm sure we can manage that. Then we've got a regulation vote. Oh, okay. What is this? As you know, we may change the regulations that define Formula 1, blah, blah, blah. With this goals in mind, we're proposing new sporting regulations, right? F1 seasons are so often defined by their climatic battles between heated rivals. To encourage more of this, we propose that the final race of the season should be awarded double points. Review the details of this proposal below and respond. Well, I probably won't play multiple seasons of this, and personally, I don't think the last race should be doubled, but, I mean, no, I can't bring myself to vote for it, even it, because just no, why would you want double points for the final one? It just negates the importance of all the other ones, in my personal opinion. Yes, that was a difficult race. We are disappointed. I'm disappointed too, but I don't think it was purely my fault. Again, not completely my fault. And then we've got an F1 Schools invitation, our annual F1 in Schools fire, blah, blah. Of course we're going to attend. Why would you not want to attend the school? Yeah, of course we're going to attend. Why wouldn't we attend? In the next episode, we do have the French Grand Prix and the Hungarian Grand Prix. Hopefully, they go well for us, because that Austrian Grand Prix did not go well for us whatsoever. If you have enjoyed the video, make sure to hit that like button. Do comment anything down below, and if you're new here, please do subscribe for more stuff like this, hopefully with less crashes. And I shall see all of you in the next video. See ya! That has to be the most chaotic race I've ever played on F1 Manager. What the hell was that?